Precious, welcome to Change
Thank
Narratives.
you so much. Thank you for inviting me.
Honestly, thank you so much for coming because you're doing incredible work. Precious is the executive director of Do Take Action. They work with youth, they work with women, they work with marginalized communities, focusing on how to provide economic empowerment. But I feel like the work that they do goes above and beyond providing economic empowerment. They attend to mental health, they attend to even physical health sometimes, you know. I remember Precious and I worked on a project last year.
Yeah.
That's actually how we met. And I think that's why I wanted you to join us on this season of Change Narratives, because it's incredibly important how you're able to move from creating a professional network to creating a friendship. So Precious and I worked on a project last year. And while we did this, right, there were some elements of that project I didn't think about until I saw it in person. Not because it wasn't essential, but I think with the speed that we had to implement, you know, we lost chunks of what should have been thought of. And just to show you, you know, the way you work, you started to think of childcare for the women that attended that training. You started to think of their feeding and then so many other essential elements to that work. So thank you, Precious.
Thank you so much.
So I'm just going to let you give us the full gist of everything you do.
Yeah, thank you so much, David. You're quite an amazing person working with. Yeah. You know, one of the things or the core of what we do is to inspire young people across Africa to take action on issues they care about.
Yes.
And I'm a young person, and one of the issues I care about is young women, women in general, basically. You know, and I think about them from the angle of empowerment, economic empowerment. You know, we always talk about economic empowerment.
Yes.
Right, and how it's a catalyst for national development and growth. But the question is, are we really empowering women? Are they really driving the narrative and change they ought to do?
Change narratives.
Yeah, exactly. Thank you. I didn't even say that word. Change narrative. Interesting.
Yeah.
I didn't really. So these are some questions, you know, that we ought to ask as people who are passionate about solving a problem.
Yes.
And for me, right, I had to go back and quickly think about what does empowerment means for women. Does empowerment means giving women money, you know, subsidy? Does empowerment means giving them bags, shoes, skill, sewing machines and the rest of them to boost their businesses, fertilizer? Does that really
constitute economic empowerment?
Yeah, in the long term, right? Yes, they can be drivers, because I wouldn't negate the impact that happens to some women.
Yes.
But are they really driving the economy? The answer is no. And do we still reinvent the wheel and expect change to happen or development to happen? No. Now, my finding and interest on this particular area was from the data and research that we got working with the UN Women. We discovered that, you know, so why would women who contribute 30% to the national GDP participate in just 1%? That's really
worrisome.
Worrisome, you know. And that is where I took up the initiative to see how can we bridge this gap and provide a real economic empowerment to these women. How can these women be part of, you know, this pie? And you know, we are not coming from the angle of, oh, we want you to erase procurement, or we want you to do. No. We're coming from the angle that, yes, we have women who are capable of participating. And how can we have these women? It's by building their capacity.
Yes.
Yes. So we build the capacity, expose them to the nitty-gritties of procurement, the documents they need, and then show them how it's being done so they can participate.
Yes.
Now, while we had all of those things, we discovered there's some biases that affect women's participation. They believe it's a men's world.
Yes.
And over the years, this has persisted in their thinking. And we discovered that if we just train them without breaking this myth, right, we might not get some huge change in the behaviors of these women who participate.
Yes.
Yeah, so we had different angles to our trainings.
Yes.
Yes. So that our trainings can not just build them capacity-wise, but change their behaviors to how they see procurement. And the truth is that it's working. So while working with UN Women, we worked around Kaduna and Lagos State, because these are more like the capital hubs for women-owned and women-led businesses.
Yeah.
And then we worked in Senegal, Mali, and Côte d'Ivoire. So those are the areas we focused first to see if our tests can really work.
Yes.
And during the course of those tests, I call it tests, right? Pilot phase project, we saw a huge change in the way women started thinking, in women's interest rate in participating in public and private procurement, and most women securing contracts. Yes, we have visible examples across our website, so it's not just fictions.
Yes.
They are real women. Real women who went from just, buying and selling to actually getting into the core of procurement, and that's a win for us.
Yes.
If we don't influence policies that gives women the opportunity to be seen, to participate, and to benefit from this sector, right, we can't really do so much. So beyond just the training is we working in the policy sector to work with policy leaders, development partners, and different interesting associates who wants to see this happen. We have a core message. How can we get women just 30% access to goods and services? We have women contractors. How can these women benefit? How can our budget be gender friendly?
Yes.
So it starts from considering all of these loopholes has been there. Now we move again to another segment of training those procurement officers.
Oh yes.
Yes, it's very important because while you're training the women and working with the policymakers, you also need to work with those people who are in the helm of affairs of procurement in these sectors.
Yes.
Yes.
There are certain initiatives and certain interventions that I feel are overflogged.
Yeah.
So I'm going to ask you, Precious, why procurement? I know you mentioned that there is a serious gap in women's participation in the procurement sector. Usually that would be with the issues you faced in policy recommendations and just transitioning those women from capacity building to actual implementation of your efforts. Why are you still sticking to procurement? Isn't that difficult? Why that particular point? I mean, aside all the data that talks about women's participation.
Yeah, remember I said something about research and data. It's a sector that's been overlooked.
Yes.
Yeah, and I've had opportunity with my work to interact with lots of women.
Yes.
I have women who are in the energy sector doing amazing work. Women who are in the construction sector. Women who are in the trade sector, right? But then I watch and observe their business models and how, and I listen to their complaints. I know that they can get more because they give so much. And when you want to compare, I don't like to know what compare.
Yes.
When you want to put, see the work they do and what their counterparts are doing, you believe that they should have obtained a more level playing field and growth in their field.
Sure.
So the question is, how can I help them? What are the other areas I can introduce them to? What is that thing I can help them to boost their businesses and get a seat at the table?
Yes.
That is what I also wanted for myself personally.
Okay.
Yes. And I discovered that if I introduce them to a sector where they have overlooked with time because of the difficulties in quotes they believe is going to be attached to that sector, right? And train them on how to participate, it's going to help them.
Yeah.
And that's where I brought the idea of affirmative procurement.
Yes.
Can we work in this sector? Don't be scared about, ditch all your beliefs about what you think about procurement. Come in and see what's happening here. They are ready to support them.
Yes.
And they are currently putting in place some in-house policies to ensure these women are not, disenfranchised. And the thing is, why these guys are doing this, not everyone understands what the head is doing.
Yes.
So we are still not yet there. So I'm going to talk about the challenges when we get there.
Yeah.
Some of the things we've done and some of the challenges we're facing and areas we think that different sectors can play a key role to making work easier.
Yes.
It's a journey that we started in 2023. Right? Yeah, so this is 3 years counting and we've made significant progress, but there's a lot more to do.
Yes.
A lot more to cover.
Yes, I agree.
Yeah.
I agree because, you actually mentioned certain things that really speaks to how you're doing things differently.
Okay.
So you talked about your personal reality being one of the reasons for you actually doing this work and why it's procurement and all of that. But you know, one thing that you're also doing to change the narrative from what you've said is that you're basically teaching government partners how to chart new territory.
Yes.
Because, I mean, look at this DG who is so invested. Like, this is not a quick win.
No.
You know, this would take a long process. But, you know, to have someone in this country that invested to see the process from start to finish, you have to tell us how you're performing that particular magic.
Let me tell you something interesting. Do you know that in 2023 we had a facilitator called, I used to call him Ogade Boy. I know when he's seeing this, he would hear this.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he was one of the core persons we got from the Bureau of Public Procurement to train our women.
Okay.
So you can see how the extra mile we went. We didn't just go for, you know, because we have, you know, funding and then we just get, you know, just to tick, oh, we've done this. No. We actually took our time to get the best.
Yes.
So we got some core facilitators and he stood out for me. At the time, he was just a facilitator. But he was so passionate. I'm like, okay, I think this is someone who can work with in the long term. And beyond his passion was how he stood for these women during the mock interviews, because we had a section where we had mock interviews.
Even since then.
Yes. So these women actually get some dummy beads. So he gives them dummy beads and they come to the bid, you know, and he's going to be the reviewer, the assessor.
Yeah.
So he tells the women, oh, these are the things you're not doing right. This is what you should do right. You know, he assessed them, and then with that knowledge, they use that to bid in real life.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that was the commitment. He saw the passion in us and the solution we're trying to provide, and he was cutting. And along the line, he became the DG.
You know, I was just going to say that because I mean, this is the time for
yes.
Because what are the odds, right? That is the person who was training them that's now DG.
Honestly,
it's a rare occurrence.
Honestly, he became the DG, but I still call him Ogadebo.
Yeah, I mean,
Ogadebo.
come on.
Yeah. So he became the DG.
Yeah.
And trust me, he's now making the work more seamless for us. He's now pushing his agenda at the national level.
Oh yeah.
He has had some core engagement. He said to me, Precious, this is going to be my first push at the national level to ensure women get level playing field in procurement.
That's amazing.
Yes. And ever since then, he has been pushing. And I'm going to be talking about some little wins we've gotten at the national level when we drive. No, I'm going to be talking them